My name is Pat McPherson. I am in Montague, Mass. And we are collecting an interview today from Mark Baker for inclusion in the Marlboro Morris Ale Archival Collection, which will reside eventually at the Vermont Folklife Center as part of their collections, and they are in Burlington, Vermont. Uh, so, anything else I have to say, Susan?
No, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Susan Creighton, and I'm working along with Pat. And Mark, would you say your name and tell us where you are right now?
Sure. I'm Mark Baker. I live with my wife, Jenny Ingalls, at 126 Wild Horse Cove Circle, Cleveland, Georgia, 30528. And it's up in the northeast corner of Georgia.
I had no idea you were there. Mark, I remember you from many, many years ago. You officiated at Deb Small and Jamie Beaton's wedding,
Yeah.
which was at the Wayside Inn. I remember.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, that's so cool to see you again. I think we sent you a list of possible questions.
Right.
We can follow those questions if you want, or if you have things on your mind which you would like to tell us about your Morris dancing days, and in particular, Morris dancing at the Marlboro Ale, you can go ahead and just do that instead.
Yeah, sure. I was saying to Jenny last night as we were going over the questions that my challenge was going to be to remember the years or the dates, that not a problem, eh, Susan?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Most people can't remember them, and we can go look them up. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So how did you first hear about or find Morris dancing?
Well, I went to New England Conservatory of Music. I got my undergraduate degree there, and I was a voice major, and I happened to be involved in Julia Sutton's Renaissance dance group.
Oh my.
And we had a gig one night in Jordan Hall. Was a performance of Renaissance dances that she had curated. And the Cambridge Mummers were part of the overall program there. What was Jean's last name? Do you recall?
Jean Murrow?
Huh?
Jean Murrow.
Jean Murrow. I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's taught a lot of dancing over the years. I want to say he was at Marlboro a few years back, several years back. Yeah. Anyway, Jean Morrow, yeah. And any rate, I saw them and I was just gobsmacked. I said, God, do I want to do that or what? Because they did Morris, they did Longsword, they did Rapper, they did Border Morris, they did everything.
Wow.
And it was just wonderful. I was just transfixed. It was just magic, which I know you all know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know at the time how to even follow a Morris group around. And it was some years later that, I meant to ask both of you, which side do you all dance with, if at all?
I danced with Guiding Star Northwest Clog from Western Mass. I did my first dancing long ago with Fiddler's Reach Morris from Maine. And then I had a stint dancing with Longwood Rapper in Boston.
Ah, okay. How about you, Pat?
My true confession is that I've taken some classes at Pinewoods in Morris dancing, but I have not ever been part of a team. I
Uh-huh.
decided that my life as a Scottish Highland dancer
Yeah,
was
keeps you
giving
busy.
me enough percussion on my knees. I didn't need to add Morris.
Right, right. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reason I ask is that the person who got me to Marlboro first off, it was it was in the middle of my first year in the seminary. I'm an Episcopal priest and went to Episcopal Divinity School. And it was Diane, I cannot remember Diane's last name. Forgive me, Diane. She danced with Muddy River. And so I went that year as a guest of Muddy River, well, as a guest of Diane's, and just followed them around and just loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. All the dancing and the singing and the drinking of wonderful beer, and it was
Right.
great. Yeah. Um, and I followed, excuse me, I followed Newtown and Morris Men and Steve, what was Steve's last name? He was their squire at the time.
Steve
And
Roderick,
huh?
Steve
Steve Roderick?
or
No,
Steve
no, Steve Roderick, I know well. He
Oh, okay.
danced with Black Jokers.
Steve Adams,
No.
No, he was a
Steve
Marlboro dancer.
Howe,
What?
Steve Howe.
Might have been Howe. Yeah, no. Steve Howe was the tall guy who
Mhm.
married very tall. He had long tall sword and married Meg. I think I'm
Yes, right.
yeah.
We had lots of Steves in our community.
Yeah.
Huh.
But at any rate, I remember him doing trunkles. Every morning take a little water, every morning take a little tea, right?
Yeah.
And he said he came up to me. He noticed me. I've been following him around to all the stops and stands, And he said, "Mark, we'd love to have you, join Newtown." I said, "I don't know any of the dances, Steve." He said, "Doesn't matter. We'll teach you." And I said, "Okay, great." And I thought he meant that very day. So I got terrified, stage fright, and all that. And he didn't mean that, of course. Uh, but any rate, that was my intro to Marlboro and to Morris dancing, or an extenuation. I guess it was about how many, maybe 6 or 7 years after the first event that I told you about just a
Right.
minute ago.
So you were attending with Newtown your first time there.
I was actually attending with Muddy River.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah,
With Diana.
that's
Sorry,
right, as a guest.
I
Okay,
cannot
right.
remember Diane's last name, but she danced with Muddy River.
Okay.
And forgive me, Diane, when you hear this, you'll say, "Mark, how could you forget me?" Because she was so good to me and sweet, and
Good.
it was great. And I'll never forget her, although I easily forget her last name. So
Happens to all of us.
All of us, right?
yeah.
What really what did you like most about Morris dancing? What really struck you?
Hmm.
I guess the rhythm.
Mhm.
Uh, the double step. Uh, my first team was the Jokers, Black Jokers, and we danced a lot of Bleddington. That was really the first tradition, so to speak, that I really got wrapped up in. And the galleys and the capers and all the double stepping and the stick dances, and you know, it was just so wonderful. It was primal,
Mm,
so very, very primal. I love that about it. You know, I loved just the primal feeling of dancing, you know, to wake the sleeping earth.
yeah.
As
Mark, had you done any other dancing before this?
I did Renaissance dancing with
Oh,
Julia
of course, right. Yeah.
Sutton,
Right.
yeah, and but not any kind of. Oh, and I was pretty well schooled in American contra dancing and therefore also English country dancing. I'd had a
Yeah.
few years of both of those
Yeah.
prior to, you know, coming to the, what was it? Was it Wednesdays or Thursdays? Wednesday or Thursdays, I'm trying to say. Wednesday or Thursday night practices of the Black Jokers. Excuse me.
So you were living in Boston at that point in time?
I was in Boston at the time. Yeah. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, how did you integrate Marlboro into your life? You said you were at seminary at the time.
Yeah. I'm not sure I integrated it so much as I just did it, you know. I
Yeah.
just I wanted to go. I couldn't wait for next year upon returning from my first Marlboro. I went and found a team, Jokers, with Howard Lasnick and bless
Right.
Howard, uh, and his wife, Bobby. Uh,
Oh, Roberta.
Roberta, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Roberta, yeah.
I did a lot of dancing with her.
Sure,
That's
they were big into Scottish dancing.
right,
Yes.
That's right. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So what do you want to tell us about, you've indicated you first went as a guest with Diane at Muddy River, and um, that is very different experience than coming with your own team
Yeah.
uh, and touring around. Do you want to tell us something about that?
Well, let's see. The next year, yeah, be glad to. The next year, I I came. It was I can't remember if it was 71 or 72. Uh, you know, it was in the summertime, as you know, or spring, summer, and I came as a member of the Jokers, Black Jokers at the time. I had danced out with them. I knew probably, you know, five or six, 4 or 5 dances at the time, which was enough to, you know, get me out there on the ground, so to
Right.
speak, dancing away and feet flailing and so on. And I remember especially George Fogg, and George is on my mind because he recently died, and they recently had a memorial service. We've been hearing. I think that your Zoom notification came in to our home computer here in the midst of a flurry or a tranche of emails about George's memorial service and could
Right.
jokers get aside together and so on. I'm not able to join them. So, uh,
Yeah.
but let's see who was on Jokers at the time. Howard Lasnick was the squire. Um, uh,
Jacob Bloom?
Jacob was a member. Ishmael or Frank Wagner uh,
Yep.
was there. Call me Ishmael. Uh, Jenny's going to get the T-shirt, right, Jen? Oh, we were just up in
But yeah, you should tell them about that.
yeah,
Meeting Claire.
yeah, and this lovely young woman.
I was wearing a Joker's button, and she saw my button at the ale and said, "My dad, blah blah blah," and brought them together.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, she came over later on in the day to where we were hanging out there at Marlboro. And she said, "I'm Claire. You married my mom and pop, Phyllis and Frank. Um, wasn't her name Phyllis? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And
yeah, Phyllis was
yeah,
his wife. Yeah.
Phyllis, yeah, Phyllis, and he
So this
was
is Clara.
Ishmael.
Yep.
He was known as Ishmael. I always referred to him as, "Hey Ishmael, hey Ish," you know.
Right.
And Claire dances with the sword team, although I don't know which one. I don't remember.
Yes, Harbor Steel. Yes,
Yeah, thank
that's
you.
who she's dancing with, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it was lovely to
oh,
meet Claire. She was very, very poised and just introduced herself in the most, casual and wonderful and friendly kind of way. I'd love to see her again.
Yeah.
It was great. So at any rate, oh yeah, and Steve Roderick was on the side at the time at with the Jokers.
and
Uh, huh?
Shag,
Shag was uh definitely a
Shag
member.
Bretts.
Who?
His last name. I was just saying his last name, Brett.
Shag Gretz, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His sister Annabelle,
Yes.
wonderful singer
Yeah.
and dancer. Yeah.
So in the olden days, as we say, before they brought buses to the ale, you would be all cramming yourself into cars, I guess, and driving
Right.
from place to
They bring
place.
buses now?
Yeah.
On Sundays, yeah, to get
Yeah.
out
Wow.
to the different tours on Sunday
Mhm.
afternoon.
I want to ask you about, because
Please.
you are a singer, I want to
Yeah,
ask you about your experience singing at the ale.
fabulous. It was all I could think about on uh planning this most recent trip to Marlboro this past spring with Jenny and hooking up with my daughter Miriam and I'm sorry, Hannah. Miriam's my other daughter. She's my younger daughter.
Right.
Hannah is the one I'm referring to. She's my older daughter. And thanks, Jen. And oh, the singing in the pub was just out of this world, Ian Robb, I will never forget. I wonder if he even remembers me. But he was the most wonderful singer. And it was he who sang All Around My Hat, which my love, she is kind, and my love, she is bonny, and so on and so forth. But not so the judge and jury that sent my love away, for thieving never was a thing that ever she inclined to. They've gone and they sent my love 10,000 miles away, and it's all around my hat. I will bind the green willow all around my hat for a 12-month and a day, and so on and so forth. Oh, and I I came home and I found that I had the words and the music to that wonderful, wonderful song in a book of English folk songs and ballads that I had here at home. Uh, it's over here somewhere. Could probably put my hands on. I should have, but I didn't. Any rate, we sang we sang a lot of Watterson's. a lot of Martin Carthy, we did a lot of sea shanties. I played concertina at the time, and yeah, I had a wonderful English concertina, not an Anglo, an English.
Yeah,
It's not diatonic.
it's different, right?
Huh?
I'm just noting that English is different than Anglo, right?
Yeah, it is. Uh, but and I did a lot of playing with Jan Elliott, wonderful Jan, who
Yes.
is a brilliant musician, and
Yeah.
she played circles around me, no matter what and when and where. She just loved Jan, and
We talked to Jan and her husband, Tim Radford.
Tim, yeah,
Both of them have been interviewed for the archive as well.
good.
Yeah. So, did you also play with your team? I mean, did you
I
play?
did, yeah, I did. I did some playing. I could, we had Tom Kruskal was, of course, a
Oh,
member of the Jokers. He was a founding member. And Tom, Tom was just, well, he's Tom. He's a brilliant musician, to say the least. And I couldn't really hold a candle next to him. He was so good. Uh, so I just, I was happy to dance away and do as much playing of tunes as I could with my it wasn't my first concertina was a heat wall,
Mm.
and yeah, the wooden one. And then Fred Kwan called me up one year when I was doing an intern year at St. Andrew's Parish Church in Marblehead, and Fred got my number. He said, "I hear you're looking for what was the good English concertina? Was that a heat?"
A Jeffries?
No, it wasn't a Jeffries or a Crab.
Mhm. Hmm.
Uh, it was metal. Any rate, I bought one from him, and it was really a great concertina. I really loved it. Played it for a couple of years, and I had to sell it because I needed the money,
Mhm.
and I did that. So, but the singing, just to go back to your original question, Pat, not
yeah.
to bury the lead on that, but it was the singing at Marlboro was just out of this world. It was
Mm.
so good, and I'm very proud to be a part of that history and to have made some friends. Remember Tony and John,
Mm.
especially Tony Barron and John Roberts,
Mhm.
uh, and may Tony rest in peace.
Mm.
Uh, at any rate, yeah.
Sure. Mark, was most of your dancing Cotswold, or did you
Yeah,
stray
yeah, it
to
was.
sword
Yeah.
dancing at all?
I'm sorry.
Did you stray into sword dancing at all?
We did, and we I I wanted to. I love broad longsword.
Mm.
It's so compelling. It's just
Mm.
magic, and I prefer to rapper. I can't do the stepping
Huh.
rapper. It's just too hard for me.
Yeah.
I haven't got flexible feet.
Well, you mentioned you loved the rhythm of Cotswold, and longsword has that same kind of
Yes, it does.
sort of
Yeah,
underlying driving rhythm to it.
Right.
yeah, yeah. And I should also mention that I'm a founding member
Mhm.
of Orion Sword, Rich Jackson and his crew. Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Didn't know
I'm very
that.
proud of that. And uh, we did, as you well know, longsword. And
Yeah.
it was a dance that Rich kind of cobbled it together. Uh, was the Orion dance. I understand they're going great guns now that Judy has taken over. People go, Orion, you were a part of Orion. Yeah,
Do they
I
ever?
was. Huh?
Yeah. And Judy, I believe Judy has stepped down from the leadership of Orion now, and they are still continuing on as a very strong team.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We saw them, didn't we, Jen? Yeah,
Very exciting.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So refined and so precise in stepping to the music.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's what I love about them. They have the music sort of internalized in all of them, in their, you know, the rhythm of their steps. I love watching them.
Mm.
Well, I did a lot of singing uh with Kurt Hayashi, who was
Mm.
also on Jokers,
Yes.
and uh he and I were both in the Boston Camerata together. And I mention that because every summer Joel Cohen, who was the director of the Camerata de Boston, would take us over to France, and we do a month's worth of concerts and workshops and so on over there.
Wow.
And one summer, Kurt and I just decided that we would sing and do Morris dancing. He would play and I would dance. And I remember the dance that we did was Bonnie. No, 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 no. It's Bonnie. It's not Bonnie. It's not Bonnie Green Garters. It's Bonnie Blue Garters.
Mm.
Bucknell. Yeah, Bucknell.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow.
Bucknell. Yeah, I still remember that. How about
Yeah.
that? And oh, that was a wonderful dance. We learned it from Arthur Cornelius. He taught it one year. This is literally decades ago. I can't
Right.
believe I'm still remembering all this.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jenny too, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Pinewoods?
Uh-huh.
What
Oh
about-
yeah, and so eventually Jenny's reminding me I joined up with Pinewoods Morris Men,
Ah,
and that was a ball. I mean, I just love Pinewoods. And why did I do that?
What did you love about Pinewoods Morris Men?
Uh I wanted to take the dancing more seriously than I thought the Jokers were doing at the time. And I think that to my way of thinking and to my mind's eye, Pinewoods was more serious, if you will, about the dancing, and I really liked that. Oh, I remember there was a summer or spring and summer when Mr. Jorix. Do you remember them at all?
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
They went way, way high, remember? And I followed them around one summer. I got to stay with Andy and
Oh,
Drea,
yes. Yeah.
yeah, at her place, and they were there.
Yeah.
She put them all up, and I followed them around. And they were great. And I was still I was a member of Pinewoods at the time, Pinewoods Morris Men at the time, and I danced with them with Pinewoods, dividing my time between Pinewoods and Black Jokers uh, uh, fairly evenly for the next, oh, I don't know, it was 5 or 6 years, I think.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
Kat, we have maybe 5 minutes left. So we should decide whether we want to renew the session and keep going, or whether we want to ask one last question.
Is there anything else you want to add to what you've said so far, Mark, or would you like to continue chatting?
If you have one last question you wanted to put to me, and I'll say that, oh yeah, that let me introduce my wife, Jenny Ingalls, and
I
we
was
got
going to do
married.
that. Hi,
There she
Jenny.
is.
Hello.
She danced with, who did you dance with?
Morningstar Morris in Atlanta.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And I think some of my teammates had made it to Marlboro, but when I was dancing, we talked about going and never did.
Oh, it's a long trip. Yeah.
So yeah, when Mark and I met and we found out that we were both Morris dancers, it's like, all right. That's
Magic.
So you did not meet through Morris dancing.
No, we met through contra dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
then
I
you
saw
both
that.
said the word Morris dance to each other, and the other person knew what you were talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Thought,
yeah.
oh my.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So going this spring was very special, getting to me
Oh,
actually be there, and then to get to go with Mark was really lovely.
Nice.
right.
Yeah.
What would you say? Why was Morris dancing important to your life? Or was it?
Well, it was and still is very much so. And I would answer that by saying because the music itself is so important to me. The English, it's English traditional song and dance, and I it's just it's just a part of that whole Fach, as the Germans would say, is a thing, and I just love it, always have.
Seems like
And
all of us who find Morris dancing, you trip over it and something speaks to you about it and you just
Yeah.
have to go do it. Yeah.
well said, well said. Yeah, that's really true,
Yeah.
Sue. Yeah,
You just fall in love with it, then you'd have to do it.
Right.
yeah. We in fact, Jenny and we got married in what is it, 07?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got married in 07. And we did Bampton Princess Royal as a double jig.
Nice.
Yeah. And who taught it to us? Maureen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Maureen.
Kilroy.
Maureen Kilroy taught.
No. I'm
No,
sorry.
no.
Linda Averack. Linda and Richie taught us. Maureen played.
No, Maureen did some teaching too. I remember that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the Avaracks, Linda and Richie helped us out with that. And Maureen, who used to dance with Morningstar,
Hmm.
helped us out with that. And did she play? She played fiddle? Oh no, Jeannie played fiddle. We were doing a lot of string band music, playing with
Oh,
Jeannie
fun.
and Walter Daves
Yeah.
back in those days in 07. So forgive my memory. I'm just
No, that's okay. It definitely comes through what an important place this kind of music had in your life. You know,
oh,
it
it
spoke
really,
to something that you needed musically, and it was community.
yeah, that's right. And it was very much about community. I'm glad you said that, Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much about community and about, hanging out with the people you always wanted to hang out with, and yeah.
The simpatico people.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, I felt that way about dancing always. When I, found the Scottish dancing people, I just knew that they were my kind of people. And it
Yeah.
was going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to close. Thank you so much.
You're
Yeah,
so
thank
very
you, Mark.
welcome.
This was wonderful to get your memories and perspective, and yeah.
It's lovely to see you again. And thank you to Jenny for helping to set it up.